Hi everyone, welcome back. So I'm going to flip through a travel notebook that I did, and this travel notebook is using the 2018 travel play set by Ali Edwards. And I got this in 2018 and I just didn't find a way to use it until 2019. So we took a road trip around New England, and so I thought that would be a good use for this particular album. So you can see I started by putting New England, June, our dates that we went on the trip on the spine. And you can see this is a 3x8 album, and it's about an inch thick. And I really packed it chock full of items. So we're just going to walk through what I did and how I put it together. So the first thing I did was I did print out just kind of a map of where we were just on an inkjet printer. And I adhered some a travel acetate to the spine. I thought that was kind of cool. And what you're going to see is I used a combination of Ali Edwards kit, the travel play kit, and just some Project Life printouts from one of the Project Life sets called Travel that you could buy on the app. So here I start with kind of how I start the trip and how we start the trip. And you're going to see this is from the Ali Edwards kit. The numbers are from a Felicity Jane number kit that I had from one of the months last year that I had never used, and I just took the dates that we were gone, the 21st through the 25th, and I used those to kind of delineate each day. I started with one of the cards from Ali's kit, the Travel Manifesto, which is what do you hope to experience, and I wrote in there. And I started by just filling out the project or the pocket pages. So I have just some different cards from the Project Life app and some pictures. What I like about this size is it allows us to take the pamphlets and some of the things that we get along the way and include them. So I just used my hole punch and I just included where I could the different information of where we went, kind of making this more of a real scrapbook than just the pictures. One of the things it was difficult was this 3x8 size. So some things like the Ben & Jerry's ice cream truck or van fit really well when cropped to 3x8, and other things just really didn't fit. So one of the things I found was taking postcards. So the postcards are more of a true 4x6 size, and those postcards I can just punch holes in and include them. They usually have a fun graphic on the front and then a place to add a full picture, and it still fits inside the album. Sometimes I added journaling just using little cutouts, added some stickers. Here's another postcard. So I kind of tried to do the best I could to include as much stuff as I could. You're going to see a combination of the 3x6 and 2x3 size. One thing about the 2x3 size is it's actually the same as a 4x6. So you can cut down some of the pictures you had and include them. You're just going to have them smaller. So for something like this that's just a quick travel trip, I think it worked out really well. I did include a lot of coasters. We did do a lot of breweries. That's one of the things we like to do. So this happens to be a menu from a place we went. Once again, one of the flyers, and this time I put the picture right on the flyer. Didn't have a lot of pictures from this place, so I just included the one we had. This place we did have a flyer and we had bigger pictures, so I included those. One of the pictures of us at night, you'll see there's a lot of the chipboard or the cork, and I included those. Those were from Ali's kit. This is from, I think it's Pink Fresh Studios, Out and About. And they had tags, and I included a lot of those for journaling in here. So you're going to see kind of a theme of handouts. This is a menu from one of the places we ate. So the 22nd, one of the things you'll notice is, at this point, I'm only 1 day into 5 days, or 4 days, and I'm already taken up about an inch. So this is a rather full book. We did do Santa's Village, which is kind of a really neat place where they have a Christmas-themed amusement park. Here's another one of the cards from Ali's kit, and it's a 4x6 card. So it doesn't actually fit in the 3x8 book, but what I ended up doing is punching holes and just using it like that. We did crop another picture, couple pictures. The rubber came from the kit, the travel kit. Used the actual pictures we took at the park, the ones you pay for. Used those, and the actual envelope it came in had the Santa's Village on it, so I just took it and cut it and punched a hole in it. Best part of the whole trip is I did touch a reindeer. Highly recommend if you've never touched a reindeer. It was pretty magical. Some more of the tags from the Out and About. Some of the different stickers from that kit included there. So we did drive up Mount Washington, and they had a whole full sheet of information on how to do the drive, because it's not an easy drive to do, and I wanted to include that. So I cut that into basically a 4x8 and was able to back that back to back and punch holes in it. So now that's included as well. You also see some of the chipboard on this particular page. My chipboard is on the outside, and then the cork is on the inside. So I just, kind of mixed it up and did what I could do to kind of make it, every page be unique. This is actually a sticker that is from this particular post, or I guess placard is there actually on the top of the mountain, but there's a sticker they sold in the gift shop, so I got the sticker and it fit just perfectly. So I used that right in the pocket. Some more of the chipboard on the outside. This happened to be one of the pictures that just fit perfectly in this 3x8, and this is a panoramic from an iPhone. So don't be afraid to use your iPhone. I took, I believe, this picture and then probably this one with my real DSLR that I took out there, and got some really great pictures. But this is just using the iPhone panoramic version, and for this particular size, it worked perfectly to have some of those panoramic pictures. I've got 2 or 3 of them in here. So, use what you have. Use your iPhone or your, phone, whichever kind you have. Another one of the cards from the kit. So 23, this is the third day. And you also see this is some of the Out and About paper. I knew that I was going to need to have some knot pockets, because the pictures weren't going to fit in the 3x4 or the 3-inch pocket. So I did go ahead and pre-punch some of the paper and just included that, and I didn't think there was anything wrong with that. Here's another example of just a picture that I knew going into this that I was going to have these 3x8 pockets, and we took a picture specifically of this road sign that had all these different, this way to this way to this in Maine, knowing 100% it was going to fit perfectly in this particular pocket. Cropped one of me. This day was actually kind of not a great travel day, and I told that story. And, I used a Project Life card, and I used the black because it was kind of a different thing, but I wanted to put it in there so that I remember, it was a bad day, but we made it through, and we kind of kept going. I did get a lot of stickers, shaped stickers in the different shaped in the different states that we visited. And Maine, just because of the way it has the straight line there, it kind of worked out just to stick those together and punch holes in it and let it be just part of the ephemera that's in this album. Another coaster, I put the sticker on the back of that one. Here's some more postcards. This time you'll see I used it mainly for journaling. And then I put the picture over here. Another one of the stickers, and then we're on the 24th. And once again, knew I was going to have a 3x8, and I knew I wanted this really big picture of this building. It's one of the most painted buildings, I think, in America. I'm not real familiar, but we went and took pictures of it, and I knew I wanted it, so I made sure I had a picture that would fit in that space. But on the other side, I didn't have a coordinating 3x8. So I just put one of the 3x8 pieces of paper in there, cardstock, and just used it as a scrapbook page. Put 2 pictures on it and did it that way. Hammond Castle, for those of you that live in the northeast in New England, if you ever have a chance, it's a castle in the middle of Massachusetts. Kind of interesting, neat to visit. I included the pamphlet there just so that I would remember what it was. This is another one of the panoramics from the trip, and this time I used the back to do some journaling, just the things that I remembered about the castle. You're going to see the cards, here, some different pictures. And then we move on to the Salem Witch Museum, and you're going to see the tag again where I did the journaling on that tag. Another postcard, so you're seeing kind of a repetition. You know, I have postcards, I have tags, and then I have some of the classic pocket pages. I just thought that's kind of a nice way to kind of keep this album. It's a different kind of album for me. It's an album kind of more about just fun and a memory. It's not a big classic scrapbook album, and I kind of liked it. The last day, have another one of the coasters, and this time I just put our picture right on the back of the coaster. And finally, for the last thing we did, which was kind of the cliff walks and a tour of one of the mansions in Rhode Island, I knew that my pictures, because it was a rainy, kind of bleak thunderstorm day, were never going to match what was in the postcards. And I didn't bring my big DSLR because I knew it was rainy and I didn't feel like dragging it out there. So instead, I just bought, and I think it was $1.50, 50 cents each, 3 really nice postcards of 3 things that I wanted to remember, and just use those. And then I have some of my pictures on the back, and just some writing, and then finally just some a Project Life card that I printed out on the back. But I was never going to get these pictures, and I think it's okay to use postcards. I mean, that's what they're there for. They're cheap, and they still have the same memory because it's the same picture that you would have gotten if you had the right lighting and had the right camera and were just the right place. So don't be afraid to use the postcards when you can do that. And then I end the album kind of the same way I started it, which is with one of Allie's cards. This one is Travel Moments and the Best Stuff to Remember. And it was really kind of neat to touch a reindeer and see the Hammond House mansion, and the funny part of our day one is there was a naked man in the hall of our hotel. So that's another story that I won't go into, but it was one of the things I'm going to remember about that trip forever. And I ended this album with just 2 pictures using the frames from that Out and About. I think that's what it's called. And put pictures of us in there. And like I said, this was a different kind of album for me, the 3x8. I think it worked for what I did, you know, what I used it for, particularly putting all of the pamphlets and the things like that in here. It certainly is not, if you have a lot of 4x6 pictures, or you take a lot of 4x6 pictures and you want to have a whole lot of pictures in there, I'm not sure this is the kind of album that I would use. But for what I wanted, which is just a memory and you know, less pictures and more kind of memorabilia, I think this worked really nice. I'm going to keep it with my other albums, and I'm probably going to do a few real scrapbook pages in my yearly album from this trip to have some of the other pictures. But I will look back at this and kind of be able to see where we went and, you know, the places we visited, and I'm glad I did it this way. So hopefully you got something out of it. If you want, I know Alex has a 2019 version of this. It's very similar, available. And if that's the kind of scrapbooking that you want to do, I recommend it. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.